technical device, an iPhone, a MacBook. You can own all that shit. But where's the receipt proving that you actually own that shit?
It's because we have the newest iPhone, the nicest car, when really all that shit is on credit. And I keep telling people,
I guess that's just all they know, right? That's why they're happy. Oh my God, wow, that's so beautiful. Bitch, they got more than you.
So between Africans and Americans, who actually owns their properties, who actually owns the stuffs that they have, to the extent that their generations yet unborn will come and enjoy without any issues? I have some Americans sharing their views on this and telling us what they think about owning something in America versus owning something in Africa. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. You don't lose anything by liking, so just give the video a thumbs up. Just click on the like button, comment, and share. Let's go into the video.
Having money in America and having money in Africa is two different type of I got money. People in Africa, they really got money, okay? They really got money. You could own a car here, you could own a house here, you could own every technical device, an iPhone, a MacBook. You could own all that shit. But where's the receipt proving that you actually own that shit? And I mean like you paid for it cash. Majority of the things here in the US, cars, houses, big shit, like expensive ass shit, don't nobody really own that shit. Everybody's making payments on that. In Africa, they own that. They pay for it cash. There's no such thing as a down payment for this. There's no such thing as monthly payments for that. Everything is owned. Like they own that shit, okay? They paid for it cash. It's a different type of I got money over there. You see somebody with a big ass house, just know they bought that land, they built that house brick by brick, cash money, bitch. Like cash, okay? You see somebody with an iPhone, they not making payments on that iPhone. They own that shit. They went and bought it cash. You see somebody with a 2025, they own that shit. They paid for that cash. They don't have none of that. Like what we got over here, mortgage payment, they don't have that. Everything is paid for cash. That's where the real money is at, bitch. They got money over there. You cannot go over there and try to flex that like you know you got that US money, bitch. They got it over there. They got it. You see somebody with a big ass house, you go to their house, just know they own that. They not making no mortgage payments, but you try to explain that to them, they gonna be like, ugh. Oh, you poor. Some of y'all might be like, well, it's Africa. Things are not even that expensive. It's equivalent to what we pay here. There are literally lands and houses that cost $500,000, $1 million. They got $1 million homes that people paid cash for. Like, bro, when you, oh my God, like it's crazy to even think about this, but listen, you see somebody over there and they got their house, they got their car, like you need to be like, wow, because they own that. They own that. Like they not making payments on it. They own it. Like they own it. It's theirs. It's a different type of I got money over there for real. They got money. They got money, okay? It don't matter how small the house is. If they own the land and they got a house on that land, they got more money than you because they own that shit. They pay for that cash money and built that brick by brick. They got more money than us, bitch, for real.
I recently posted a video about how Africans that have money actually have money compared to Americans. Like, for example, you could see an African here in Kenya driving around in a 2010 BMW. And in America, that would be like, oh, that's so old. It's such an old car. The thing is, 9 times out of 10 in most African countries, they don't have the same credit system, unless if it's maybe in Southern Africa, that you can pay over time. So that means that these people had to actually put their money up and pay. And so I'm saying, yeah, Africans think that we're all so successful in the United States because we have the newest iPhone, the nicest car, when really all that shit is on credit. And I keep telling people, credit was created. It was created for people to buy things that they could not afford. And then people like to make the example of, oh, well, Jay-Z just bought a $2 billion mansion. Yeah, there's levels to it, right? So when you get rich, credit becomes a game, right? There's a leverage that Donald Trump uses. There's stuff that people do. There's a whole game whenever you play the rich side of credit. But for you motherfuckers that are like making under $500,000 a year, including myself, credit is an option for, hey, okay, I don't have $500,000 to drop on this house. I can't afford it. For some reason, that's killing you guys' ego by saying you can't afford it. That's literally why they fucking created that system. That's why we can enjoy more luxuries in African countries, because they created a system for you to buy now and pay later, right? And so Africans think that we're so successful when really about 90% of, most Americans don't even have $500 to their name, and let alone good income. And so they are literally one paycheck away from that brand new BMW i8 that they're driving and all them finance bottles they popping in clubs and a new iPhone. Let them miss one paycheck and they're going to have the net worth of a boater driver.
In Africa, when you build a house, you are not just building for yourself. You are building a family house. Your children know this house will always be ours. When you pass on, no one asks questions. No one sends a bill. No one tells your children to pay again. The house becomes theirs automatically. Now, compare that with Europe. Even after you have fully paid your mortgage, even after 40 years of hard work, when you die, your children may face inheritance taxes, legal fees, administrative costs, and if they cannot afford those costs, they are forced to sell the house. The same house you already paid for gets paid for again. Ask yourself this: is it really ownership if it ends when you die? In Africa, ownership is generational. In Europe, ownership is often conditional. Now, tell me if you will prefer that system of conditional ownership in Europe to the generational ownership in Africa. When we say Europe is better than Africa, better at what exactly? Because if we are talking about roads, systems, convenience, sure. But if we are talking about life, real life, the kind that shapes your happiness, your family, your future, then we need to slow down and have a honest conversation.
This woman makes a bold point. She argues that the lifestyle many foreigners dream about already exists in parts of Africa. Not in theory, in practice. In many African communities, people own what they use. Houses are built and paid for. Cars are bought outright. There are fewer long-term mortgages and heavy credit systems controlling daily life.
White people traveling to third world countries really make me fucking laugh. Because every time, this is a very common sentence they say, okay? Oh my God, they're poor. And they're so happy. They're so happy and they don't have anything. And I guess that's just all they know, right? That's why they're happy. Oh my God, wow, that's so beautiful. Bitch, they got more than you. Okay, they own the fucking property. They own the car. They own a fucking farm. What do you got? A house? No, shit's mortgaged. A car? No, shit is like financed to lease. Fucking credit card debt? They don't fucking credit cards there. Everything they paid was fucking cash, hard-earned money. Talking about, that's all they know. No, they know about your life. They know about the Western life, about how we don't fucking own anything here. That's why they're fucking happy.
She closes with a hard truth. Many people in Europe, America, and other developed regions rely heavily on loans, mortgages, and credit systems. Homes are financed, cars are financed. Even daily expenses often run on credit. That reality made some people uncomfortable, not because she lied, but because she highlighted a contrast. In many African communities, ownership works differently. A large number of people live in homes they fully own. They drive cars they have paid for.
Americans are so broke and they don't even realize. Now, check this out. Let's say you live in the US and you make $3,500 a month after taxes. I'm being generous. Rent, $2,000. Car payment, $500. Car insurance, $200. Health insurance, $200. Phone bill, $100. Wi-Fi bill, $50. Light bill, 150. Water bill, 100. What's the point of making more money if you don't get to keep any of it? Who cares if you make $4,000 a month if you don't get to keep any of it? 60% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, and that includes half of six-figure earners. 80% of you guys are in debt and don't own anything, and half of you guys don't even have $500 in your savings account. But let's call other countries poor and let's call other people poor. Living paycheck to paycheck your whole life and being in debt your whole life should be considered poverty, but it's not. And I know this is going to hurt a lot of Americans, but it's the truth. The US system wants you to spend every waking moment of your life working and paying into a system that will never benefit you. Slaving away your whole life just to be retired for a measly 10 years. At least here in Mexico, we own our things. We own our houses. We own our cars. We're not in debt. But anyways, that's a story for another day.
West Africa builds better houses than America and much of the Western world. I've built new homes in America and West Africa, and I can tell you, when you see the construction of new homes in West Africa, you're going to have a hard time settling for the junk they try to sell you in the United States. The biggest reason for this is, where does your money go when you purchase a new home? In America, most of the money that you pay for that new home is going into the land and into the permits necessary to build your house. Whereas in West Africa, most of the money that you're putting into the new home actually goes into the home itself. So you can have better building materials and a higher building standard than you can in America. In fact, let me compare two. This is the kind of build quality that you'll have in America if you're buying new home construction. It's basically as cheap as they possibly can make it to maximize their profits. Whereas check out West Africa. The walls are concrete. They're not cheap wood and drywall. The floors are marble. They're not this cheap artificial wood that they've been using in all the new homes that they call luxury in America. And the location of the houses makes a lot more sense in West Africa. In America, when you're buying new home construction, even luxury home construction, you're generally put off into this land of suburbia where you're 15 minutes away from the nearest store. Whereas in West Africa, you can purchase a home that's conveniently located to the metropolitan areas, which makes life a lot better on a day-to-day basis. And let's talk about privacy. In West Africa, you can build a privacy wall around your entire property. So people can't just walk up to your front door, or they can't just look in and see what you're doing. In West Africa, you get that safety, security, and convenience. Whereas in America, they only allow you to generally do these cheap vinyl fences, and if you're lucky, they can be 6 feet tall, and they can only be in your backyard. So everybody can just walk up to your front yard when you buy a new home construction in America. And in West Africa, new home construction isn't as restricted as it is in America. So if you want to build a one-level house, you can do it. If you want to build a 6th bedroom instead of having a 5-bedroom, we can make that happen for you. And if you want a guest house, that's absolutely no problem. As long as you got enough space on your property, we can build that for you too. Instead of having to do it in America where you have to get permits for every little change that you make to the property. And as a result, the houses don't all look the same. Have you ever gone through a suburb in America and the only difference between any of the houses is what kind of vinyl they put on the front of the property? They call it a facade. Sometimes when I'm in a house in America, even a luxury new home construction, and I'm in one of the bedrooms, I have trouble telling the difference between the multi-million-dollar house and the much less expensive house for first-time home buyers. They use the same materials and they feel exactly the same on the inside. Whereas when you get new home construction in West Africa, the walls can be ornate. You can have really high quality doors. Everything's just going to feel a lot more bespoke. And another little thing that I like about West African construction versus construction in the United States is the climate control. So in West Africa, every room can have its own individual climate control and can go to the temperature that's necessary for that room or that person's preference. Whereas in America, at most you're getting 1 or 2 zones of HVAC, meaning that everybody has to agree on what temperature is best for them. So if you're looking to build your dream home and you don't absolutely have to be in the Western world, I would really consider looking at new home construction in West Africa. I think you can get a lot more house for your money, but even for getting value play, I think that they build the houses much better at a higher quality, and they're just nicer places to live in than what you'll experience in the Western world where everything is basically cookie cutter. But I want to know what you guys think. Have any of you guys had a chance to live in West African houses and Western world houses? Let me know what your thoughts were comparing the two.
Hello, I'm Lily and I'm going to give you a tour of my Ghana house. Come right with me. Welcome in. Welcome to the front driveway area. Our little Fiat 500. Our little baby car. I'll show you through to our front door. Wow. Welcome. Aquaba. We literally shipped all our furniture from New York City in a 20-foot container, plus a whole bunch of extra boxes. And then it came to us, and then we were able to start to put it in places, but as you'll see, there's quite a bit of furniture still missing. So I'm excited to find out what it will look like when it's completely done. This is our bar, stocked with anything that your alcoholic heart could desire. And even your non-alcoholic heart. This is going to be our dining area. So there'll be a big dining table here and about 8 chairs and art and all those sorts of silverware and cutlery and things like that. Let me bring you on to the kitchen. Welcome to our kitchen. The best place in the house, in my opinion, because this is where all the food is and the spices and all of my supplements and powders and anything that my nutritional heart could desire. Like, this is just so great on either side. I love it. I love it. We have our storage back here. So this is where we keep duplicates of all the items. So this is our little gem of the house. We've hosted make your own pizza party already, and we've hosted a birthday party. There was tons of popcorn in here the last couple days. It feels nice to have so many people be in the kitchen, aunties, friends, kids, and just everybody can find a seat and grab a snack. And so then with your snack and your drink, we bring you out to the backyard. Welcome. We have our pool, all our plants and our seeds, and very important, insect repellent, because when you sit out here for too long, the mosquitoes will come and eat you up. I eat all my meals out here right now. The weather is amazing in the rainy season. It's warm and feels like summer, but it's still a little chilly and breezy. This is where all my friends come and sit and just chill and play music. So we've been loving it. We have been having a great life out here. I will come and show you the upstairs area.
You know what I think really gets under the West skin? That Africa is actually owned by Africans. We are the locked door to their open plan fantasy. The bouncer at the club they think they built. The inconvenience they have to smile at, shake hands with, just long enough to walk away with the diamonds, the oil and the fertile land. They don't see us as owners. They see us as gatekeepers who got lucky, sitting on treasure we're not supposed to have. In their mind, Africa's riches are the world's inheritance, and we are the ungrateful heirs who refuse to share. We slow them down. They have to knock on our door, ask for our stuff, and that bothers them. Because deep down, they believe they should just walk in and take it. But here's the kicker. They already do. But the fact that we're still here, still holding the keys, still saying this is ours, that's the part they can't stand. Here's the pattern. Every time Africa shows strength, whether it's independence, resource control, or building our own trade alliances, the same thing happens. The narrative changes. Suddenly, we're unstable, unsafe, needing intervention. Not because we can't manage, but because we can. They need the world to believe Africa can't survive without them, because if that myth dies, so does their free pass to our resources. Let's look at history for a second. In the Congo, Patrice Lumumba was killed not because he failed, but because he was succeeding without them. In Ghana, Kwame Nkrumah's Pan-African dream didn't collapse on its own, it was pushed over. Libya had the highest standard of living in Africa before NATO decided to liberate it. And the same question keeps echoing. Why do these black people own this stuff? Why do they own this land, this gold, this cobalt, this oil, this future? Who do they think they are? Here's the uncomfortable truth. The West doesn't fear a poor Africa. They fear a competent Africa. An Africa that trades with itself. They fear an Africa that keeps its talent at home. They fear an Africa that invests diaspora money into African ownership instead of Western consumption. A competent Africa isn't an inconvenience to the world. It's a threat to the world order. So before I go, the next time you hear about helping Africa, ask yourself, are they helping us? Or are they helping themselves through us? Because the real liberation isn't just in kicking them out of the house. It's in keeping the keys.
You know, this is a debate that has actually been going on for a very long time, but I think with many Africans going to America and experiencing how the system works and how things move, they've actually come to the realization that, trust me, Africa is way, way better than America. The only thing that you need in Africa is to just probably get a capital that you can set up a business, something, and you are good. Because the reason why many Africans travel to America is all because of capital. Funds. That's the only thing. Apart from that, and honestly speaking, there are the opportunities in America, but you work for so many years before you can save enough money, unless you are lucky and you get a job that fetches you enough that you can save more. But if not, the average salary you will use all to pay your bills, and trust me, you will work for so many years and you will not even have a cedi in your account. So this is how the system in America is. But in Africa, if you buy land, your second, third, fourth generation, fifth generation will come and see that property. They will live in it if they so wish. It actually becomes a family home because the children will grow up and all of them will just go their way, try to build their own houses, their families and all that. So that house becomes a family house that in case of any issue, they come there for meetings, for funerals, for weddings, a whole lot of things. It is for them, and they have rooms. If it is, let's say, 10 bedrooms, they have rooms. Each person has their room that when they come there, they sleep, and nobody will come there to ask them to pay whatever, nothing. Whereas in America, the moment you buy your land or your property, for instance, your house, I'm telling you, you will start paying taxes. That's the property tax. And if you don't, they will just confiscate the building or the property, sell it. If you are lucky and they get some whatever on top of it, it will be handed over to you. But apart from that, trust me, you will work before you can even earn enough money to even get your own place or buy your own property. So let me tell you, Africa, we live well, we live life. And in America, I all the time say they are trying to survive. But in Africa, we live life. That's why when you come to Africa all the time, you see the kids, everyone, they are happy. But in your head, in your mind, as a foreigner, you might think they are suffering. Trust me, we are so much happier living life. Thank you so much for watching.